So the Carolina Panthers draft has commenced, and let's go over these picks. This team has yet another draft that is going to go into the books as one of the better drafts that the team has had in the last couple of years. Now, they've been drafting very well over the last couple of years, getting guys like Akeem Okongwu, J.C. Horn in the first round. But this year was a little different. You trade up to the first spot to get Bryce Young. He was my #1 quarterback on the board. That's an A+ pick. You needed to go out there and get your #1 quarterback. It's going to be Bryce Young moving forward. The offensive line is going to have to play huge. You're going to have to play big. Down the stretch of last season, the offensive line played better. And you saw Akeem Okongwu show those flashes that he could be a franchise type of tackle for you. They're going to need that to protect Bryce Young. He's the best playmaking quarterback in this draft class, and in my opinion, he's the guy that's going to get you over the hump. It's going to take a couple years to see because a lot of weapons on this team are lacking. I like the running back room with Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders, but you did pay a pretty penny to go out there and get Miles Sanders. Just hope that he can come onto this team and still be a good, versatile running back for you. The wide receiver room is where things get a little dicey. They drafted Jonathan Mingo in the 2nd round. I love this pick. He's 6'2", 220 pounds, coming from Ole Miss. This is a guy that's going to put in a lot of production for you. He's similar to an A.J. Brown type of wide receiver, that physical guy that can go down the field and block for you and that can get contested catches. And funny enough, they went to the same school. He didn't play with A.J. Brown at the same time, but he has a similar build to him. He is a guy that's going to go out there and get physical with corners, needs to work on his release. But other than that, he's going to be a very good wide receiver for Bryce Young moving forward. The wide receiver room will definitely have a huge hole that's going to be left by DJ Moore. So hopefully guys like Jonathan Mingo can come in and help fill that need. I always say this as well. Laviska Shenault could be that #1 wide receiver for you. Do not get it messed up. If he can stay healthy, he's a very young, explosive wide receiver. You can give him the ball out of the backfield. You can get the ball to him in the slot and on the outside. He's a perimeter weapon. He hasn't been used correctly because the old coaching staff with Matt Rule and crew, but you're bringing in a brand new head coach in Frank Reich. Hopefully he can use him in a versatile amount of ways because he could be a good versatile piece for you. And Laviska Shenault and having Jonathan Mingo that can play inside and outside the slot as well. Primarily a guy that you want on the outside because of his size, but you have good weapons with him. Hayden Hurst, if he can stay healthy, had a good season last season with the Cincinnati Bengals. A lot of the times he was getting one-on-one coverage for the simple fact he's playing alongside T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. He may not get the same looks. He may not get the same production with the Panthers, but he's going to be a good for sure-handed tight end with this team. They got him in free agency. And he's one of those guys you look at on day one that needs to help out Bryce Young. Because Bryce Young is going to be the starter day one of this team. No questions asked. Get the offensive line right. Continue having that strong run game that you had on the back half of last season. Work in with play action. And get these guys to go out there in space. And hopefully they can help out Bryce Young. You got DJ Johnson. Is a good edge rusher from Oregon. I like his size. 260 pounds. Standing at 6'4". This is a big kid to have. This is a big guy to have from Oregon. He's going to be a good rotational depth piece on the defensive line. He's going to help stop the run. You have Brian Burns, who's a double-digit sack guy for you. Amazing pass rusher in Brian Burns. But you need to go out there and get some help and some depth pieces. That's what DJ Johnson can do for you. He could be a guy that could be a starter at a point in time, but right now, very good run stopper and a guy that can push the pocket as well and go out there and get you some sacks. But right now, he's going to be one of those young developing defensive ends you look at moving forward, and hopefully he can turn into something. You also selected Chandler Zaliva from NC State. Is a good guard, 6'3", 322 pounds. Needs some work. He's going to be one of those guys you have in the interior of the offensive line. He's going to go out there and be a good depth piece. The interior of the offensive line is already strong enough for this team. They have a good interior offensive line, and they're going to have guys back there to back up good key pieces to help out that run game and also help out Bryce Young. The Carolina Panthers really filled a lot of their holes in free agency. I know that the weapons aren't top tier, but the offensive line has been reconstructed the last couple of years. But getting a good depth piece at the guard position definitely doesn't hurt. You have Austin Corbett that you got a couple of years ago in free agency. Brady Christensen is a good guard at times, the left guard position, but him and Chandler can battle it out if you want to see how that will work out in training camp. And you have Taylor Moton at the right tackle position. And we already spoke to Kima Kwanwu earlier in this video. So the offensive line is pretty much where it's set, but it doesn't hurt getting good depth pieces late in the draft. They didn't have that many draft picks this year because you traded some picks. We're trying to get Sam Darnold and trying to get Baker Mayfield, and also traded up some picks as well to go out there and get Bryce Young. And the last pick was Jamie Robinson, a safety from Florida State. Just a good rotational depth piece to have again. The safety position is going to be very strong on this team. You got Von Bell in free agency, you have Jeremy Chin, and you have Xavier Woods as well. So it may come down to one of those situations. Do you want to bring back Jeremy Chin? Maybe Jamie Robinson can replace him in the future and play a similar type of role. But it seems like Von Bell's going to be the starting strong safety and Xavier Woods will be the starting free safety with this team. And just let Jeremy Chin roam across the field. Be very interested to see how they use this defense because they're very versatile. They have guys in secondary that can play some nickel linebacker for you, go out and guard out tight ends and can sub those guys in and out. And that was one of the things I'm really disappointed in with this draft. They didn't get a corner. I understand that you have two good corners in J.C. Horn and Dante Jackson. But remember this, when they went against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it was the second to last game, both of those guys were hurt, and C.J. Henderson had to be your number one corner. And he's not a good corner in the NFL. I understand J.C. Horn's a very good young corner. Dante Jackson is very solid as well. But when C.J. Henderson has to be your number one, that's when things take a major dip. He's not even a good number two in the NFL. I'm not trying to hate on the kid that much, but he's just not a good cover corner. So if he's at the number three, that's a decent spot for him to be. But getting another corner would have definitely helped out this team. I feel like they can still make some moves as well to try to get a guy via trade or just try to get a veteran free agent. So we'll see what they do on that front. But this was a strong draft for the Carolina Panthers. We have to see these guys go in the field and play. But I'm very excited to see Bryce Young suit up, and hopefully he can be that franchise quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, because that's what's going to make or break this draft. Can Bryce Young be the franchise quarterback? It doesn't matter if Jonathan Mingo turns out to be one of the best receivers in the league. If Bryce Young is a no-go, this entire draft was a fail. You trade a future first-round pick and you traded DJ Moore up to get this kid. I believe he will be successful, and this is going to be a sneaky team to watch next season. I believe it will be some struggles for Bryce Young, like how it is with every rookie quarterback, but the expectation is for long-term success and for Bryce Young to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, especially in the NFC Conference. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Let me know how you feel about the Carolina Panthers draft in the comment section below. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.